Hey there, it's Julie Hutchison here from Think Be Do Leadership, and it's Thursday afternoon, and boy do I wish it was Friday afternoon today. The subject matter is frazzled because this week has, for me, been unusually frazzled as a business owner and as a human being. And I think it's really important that we recognise that when we are in business, sometimes it can be very overwhelming and feel like, and I don't know about this, but if this is not you, then great, have a wonderful Thursday afternoon. But sometimes I think that we feel like every responsibility is on us and we have no one to turn to and the buck stops with us and there are so many things to do. If you've got a list, tell me. If you're on live now, in fact, even if you're not, but if you're on live, put live and then say, have you got a to-do list that is as long as your arm, that you never get through and that you feel like it just grows and grows and grows and it's nearly Friday and you've only got like a tenth of the things done you wanted to get done? Is that just me? Probably. But if it isn't just me, then I think it's also many business owners. Hi, Katie. Yes, it's been a very weird month, but it's been a very weird week for me, particularly Katie. So thank you for saying hello. Because my lovely dog Meg, and I put a post on earlier on my lovely dog. She's 13 years old. She's a Labrador, chocolate Labrador, and I love her. And all those things, of course I do, and I think the world of her. And she is my office company dog because she sits down here below, and she's been incredibly poorly this week. She's had lost the use of her leg for a bit, and we thought she'd broken it or done something with it. She's also got arthritis. Anyway, it was not looking good on Tuesday. She was in a huge amount of pain. I was in a huge amount of pain because boy, does it hurt. I don't know about you, but if you've got pets, animals at home, they're like family, aren't they? So this week, I've been trying to put all of the things that I'm supposed to be doing into smaller pockets of time, into very little, and with very little sleep, with very little energy, and really my mind is somewhere down there on that dog. And I think I've done a reasonable job actually at times, and she's okay. The good thing is that I think she's going to be okay. She's old, but at the moment she's okay and she's back walking, which is wonderful. But that's not what this is about. This is about feeling frazzled because boy, have I felt frazzled this week. I'm looking about 10 years older. But if you get to that end or to a Thursday and you're just thinking, wow, I'm trying to fit it in. And the tendency that you have, thank you, Katie. Yes, she is a poor doggy. The tendency that a lot of us have, especially if you're the owner in your business, but particularly, if you've got responsibilities, you're there trying to manage a team, you're there trying to grow, and you're really working hard. The tendency I find is that, especially when I'm stressed, especially when I can see that to-do list, is to work even harder. And I laugh at myself because you know what, and I do hear it from other people, it's not just me, that you think that you're capable of working harder. And you think, well, how am I going to fit even more in when I hadn't fit it in before? Somehow you do, and somehow you just get there. It's a bit like when you're going on holiday and you've got to get something done. It suddenly gets done. So there is an element of focus, yes. But what's weird is that often the more stressed we are, the more we put ourselves under even more stress, like a vicious circle, because we feel like, oh, I'm just not getting it done, or I'm not doing well enough, and this is all my fault, and I have to achieve this. So we push ourselves and we're working harder and harder and harder. And the problem is with that is often we stop taking breaks. We are not sleeping very well because, I don't know about you, but in one side, it just goes round and round and round of all the things that I've got to do, or, oh, you forgot this, or you forgot that. And so when it's all down to us and we've got that feeling like it's our responsibility and solely our responsibility, then it means that we are pushing ourselves to a point where we are ineffective and inefficient. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, where actually you think you can push harder, and there is an element where you go up that hill and you're like, yeah, but there's this point at which actually you are less effective, you are less likely to achieve the things that you want to do because you're in overwhelm. You're in almost that panic zone, not the stretch zone. You're in the panic zone. You have done too much and you've pushed or pulled it all too far and it's all too stretched. And what we see is people, they're not taking those breaks. They're pushing themselves towards a burnout because they cannot see how else they can get it done. And I hear this all the time. Well, I have to do it because there's nobody else to do it. Or, well, I can't trust anybody else to do it. And this happens so often where actually we are short term. Yeah, we're going to be busy, of course. But we need to step back because you cannot, you will not survive if you keep pushing yourself to that burnout of it's all me, it's all down to me, and I've got to get it done. And so what we need, if we want ourselves to grow and our businesses to grow and our achievements and our productivity to grow, we have to find a way that actually we are, yes, efficient with the time that we have, but also to not be doing some of these things that we think we need to be doing. And I was watching an amazing TED talk that just reminded me, it was from a doctor, actually, an ER doctor. Apologies because I can't remember her name. But what she was saying is that the stress that we put ourselves under is because we're trying to do everything and we're treating everything in the same level of emergency, in her case, treating everything at the same level, that everything is urgent, everything is an emergency, and everything is as important as everything else. And you've been on a rock if you've never heard of the urgent important grid. But if you haven't, we need to look at things in terms of, yes, is it urgent, but is it also important? So on those two scales, do I need to do something? Yes, it's important, but do I need to do it now? And what she was saying is around triaging the things that come in, not treating everything the same, not just writing one long list, is really understanding what's your priority, what's your priority or priorities. And when I say your priorities, there are two things going on there: priority and yours. Okay. And this is where I see a lot of people getting it wrong, I suppose. And sometimes me, in fact, a lot of the time, probably me as well, have to kick myself, is that something can be a priority, but it doesn't have to be for you. It doesn't have to be that you need to do it. And what happens when you're more stressed you are, the more you just think, oh, quick, short-term gain. I'll do it. Has anybody ever been there? I think maybe one or two of you have. I'll just do it and get it out of the way. But the problem is then we make a rod for our own back, and then we've still got all this other stuff to do. So we need to be able to look at that. Is it my priority? Yes, it's a priority, but is it mine? And who else and how else can I get somebody else to do it? Who else can do this for me? That is more their thing, their genius, and they can support me in doing it. And you cannot do this unless you do one thing, and that is just stop and look after yourself before you go off the edge of a cliff. And what I mean by that is that we push and push and push and push like a big hamster wheel, and therefore we don't think about who else can help me. We don't think about how could I do this differently, because we're in the moment and we're just like, oh, I'm racing on my hamster wheel. I've got to get it done. I've got to keep going. And actually, to the point of lack of productivity, lack of inefficiency, the only way to get that back is to stop, is to say, hang on a second. Let's look at me. Let's look at, am I okay? Am I going off the edge of a cliff here? And who do I need to support me? How can I get that support? First of all, you need to take a break. And we think, no, I mean, I was in the police for 16 years. Sometimes we didn't get a break. Sometimes we had to push. But that just means at the end, the adrenaline takes you through, but you've got nowhere to go at the end. You're just going to fall flat on your face. So we need to stop and say, I'm not going to run just on adrenaline. If only I could say that word. Adrenaline. You can't just run like that. You've got to look at, are you taking care of you for the long term? Yeah, short bursts, you can push, but the long term. So ask yourself the question, is the way I behave and look after myself making this worse, this frazzledness? Yeah. So for example, do I sleep? Am I setting myself up to fail in terms of sleep? For example, when you're tired, now I do this if I'm not careful, when I have to not do it, I think, oh, I'll sit on the sofa and I will just watch a bit of TV because I deserve it and I've worked hard. But it means I then go to bed later and I don't sleep enough. And then I start the day more tired. Have you ever done that? Yeah. So we need to think about, okay, 1, sleep. 2, drinking water. I could stand here all day if I don't really push myself and not drink anything other than tea, but I don't drink enough water. So having a bottle of water there and getting you to stop and look after yourself first. Then start thinking differently. Now, on my program, we talk about the Leaders Launchpad. We talk about being the leader and the mindset of the leader and having a leveraged mindset. And the problem is when you've got your big list, you're not thinking in that leveraged mindset, because what you're thinking is, I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. So we have to change your mindset to one of, how can I set this up in the future? Yeah, maybe now's not the right time, but in the future, how can I change this? And you've got to stop to be able to change. Yeah, you can't just suddenly do it. You've got to just take stock of where you are. So I want you to think about, who do you have in your team that can help you, that can support you, and actually is better placed to do some of the things that you're still hanging on to. Yes, you probably are. It's very normal. Believe you me. So I want you to start thinking about this triage concept of, okay, yes, we can call it urgent, important if you like, but I like triage because it's like, okay, which priority, like red, amber, green, is this a red? Are they like, they're dead and I need to do this now? Or are they like a minor thing and I don't have to worry about it for a moment? Yeah. Because I'll tell you what I do. My tendency is to work on the minor things when I get stressed, not on the major things, because the minor things make me feel better because I can get them done. So don't do that. Don't do that. So what I want you to think about is not being the warrior, not pushing through, not being the hero, not trying to be the one who does every single thing. What I want you to do is to think about, how do I look after myself? Am I the right person to be doing this stuff? What can I delegate? What can I give to somebody else who's probably more qualified and better at doing it, and let go of things? Who can I trust in my business? And if you answer those questions to the point of, I don't have anybody I can trust, or the people I've got aren't really ready for that, I need them to step up, or I don't explain it very well, or I don't like doing that because I don't like to give it away and I'm struggling with that, then you need some help to do that. Okay, and that's where we come in. If you feel that you need to change the behaviors that you display so other people can step in and change, if you feel that you need to change that mindset and you need to grow that mindset, then come and talk to us, because on the Leaders Launchpad, that's exactly what we do. So you don't have to sit there and think you've got to do it all yourself. We will make sure that you create a team of people who are leaders in their own right, who will step up and support you in achieving what you want to achieve. Because if you don't do that, your business won't grow, you won't grow, you'll fall flat in a heap by Thursday afternoon. And if it's because of a specific situation, like your dog's been poorly, of course, fair enough. But if it's not that, and this is happening all the time, every Wednesday, Thursday, you're starting to think, I don't know if I can make it till Friday, and you spend the whole weekend just trying to recover, then we need to do something about it. We need to talk. So if that's been of use to you and it's made you think on a Thursday afternoon, actually, I do need to change the way this is going, then give me a shout, either by message or post a comment here, tag me, and we can talk. Let's talk about how we can help. Okay, don't forget to join the Facebook group, Quiet Leaders with Impact. And if you haven't already, which is a free Facebook group that you can join that has more videos and chat about leadership in your business. So have a wonderful, relaxing afternoon and a brilliant bank holiday weekend as well. I'm now going to go cuddle that dog and have some water so that my brain actually works this afternoon. Okay, for all of you watching live, have a wonderful afternoon. And if you're watching on the replay, then hope you're having a good day at whatever time it is a day for you. Take care. Bye-bye.